Our guest today is somebody near and dear the hearts to so many of us within inside the AIME community, Nika Ojo.
Today we're cooking the Nigerian jollof rice.
An unbelievable aroma in here for anybody. You can't smell it obviously, but you gotta give this dish a shot. I cannot wait to try it.
And the reason for the tomato paste is just to add the color to the rice.
It smells unbelievable in here, so I cannot wait to try it on my end. It's so easy for you to cook and talk.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just part of who you are. You're just kind of going through, knocking it all out.
I was not born here. I mean, you can hear my accent. That's the bed.
That's where he slept.
That's just concrete.
Growing up.
Yeah, we make concrete.
I was 25 when I came here, and I've been here. I'll be 30 years in this country, and look at what God has done through real estate. So if I can do it, you can as well. For me, relationship is key in whatever we do in life, either business or friends around. You have to build on relationship. Make sure you're showing true examples to your children, because you cannot build a better community if you don't build a better home. So let's start from the home first.
You could probably see my face just smiling in the background. I'm like, this is insane. Let me see. Where do I look? Where do I look? Wait. Oh my God. That looks great. Thank you.
You look so amazing.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you. Experiences are what I believe set the best salespeople apart from everybody else. And today we are in Houston, starting Cooking with AIME. And our guest today is somebody near and dear the hearts to so many of us within inside the AIME community. This is a pillar of excitement, a pillar of joy, a pillar of what's possible, and more importantly, just a good human being. And I talked to you about experiences. When we pulled up to her house, I mind you, we asked her if we can film inside of her home. We pulled up to this house and she had signage out front welcoming AIME into her house. And this is the experience her clients get on every closed transaction. And she built her business from the ground up. Her story is a beautiful one and a special one that we get to share with all of you today. Today, we are with broker owner of Discovered Homes Investment, Nika Ojo, to cook something special for you and to give you sales advice, sales tips, and just life advice. Without further ado, Nika Ojo, please, what are we cooking today, my friend?
Hey everyone, so today we're cooking the Nigerian jollof rice and fried plantain in a red sauce with chicken gizzard. It's so beautiful.
Chicken gizzard sauce. Now some people, that might throw them off a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Now for me, I grew up in a very, very cultured home being Middle Eastern. I tried and had everything. So for those out there that have never had something like this before, we're talking about experiences. Mm-hmm. And the thing about you I love is you're all about being open-minded.
Yes.
What would you say to them listening in?
Look, everything is about being open-minded. You got to try it. If you don't try it, you don't know how amazing the dish is. So I invite you to join me. Let's make this together, and I hope you can make it at home.
So, Nika, what ingredients would somebody get to start this dish right now?
So for the jollof rice, you want to get your Roma tomatoes, your red bell pepper, and if you like a little bit of spicy, you may add habaneros, but you don't have to. So what I did was just to blend this just to save time, and this is blended already. I use my blender. You can use your NutriBullet or a blender if you have it. So that's what I did. And of course, my olive oil. You can use any kind of oil, you know, just whatever you want. And some of my spices, I'm going to use the Knorr cubes, the curry, just to add flavor. The thyme to add flavor, and then the curry to add flavor as well. And of course, I have my tomato paste. This is, you know, just get any brand you like. Tomato paste. And I have onions just to saute, just to add that flavor to my jollof rice. And a stick of butter. And this I use at the end of the day. And so this is the plantain. I'll show you guys how to make this. It's very easy to make. So I'll show you how to make this. And then I have my gizzard already diced. And that's the gizzard already diced, so it's real easy.
So Nika, thank you. Broke it all down. Sounds like you can get anything you want at the local grocery store, no matter where you live.
Yes.
Is what it sounds like. So Walk me through your journey into this. You talked to me earlier, we were having a little bit of breakfast / lunch, and you said the reason you actually got into mortgages was a bit of necessity. Can you tell the crowd about the story you shared with me with your husband and how you actually got into doing mortgages?
So my husband is a real estate broker here in Texas. He's been doing this for about 30 years now. I was not a mortgage broker when he started his business. So he had a loan officer, and the loan officer will not pick up his call, will not return his call, will not close loans on time. So my husband was having high blood pressure. His blood pressure went up so high, and I just could not stand it anymore. So I asked him, what does it take to do this? And then he told me that he actually didn't tell me. I had to go online to search what does it take to be a loan officer. And back then, it was only 8 hours of education. So I took that 8-hour class, and that was how I started. No mentorship, nothing. That's why I'm really, really grateful for AIME. Those of you that just joined, you don't know the kind of blessings you have, because AIME is just a tremendous networking group. So I am so grateful. So I started the journey all on my own. I failed at some point, but I rose up, and here we are today, 23 years later, still changing lives and making a difference in the community.
The thing I love about you is your no excuse mentality. I think every time I've ever talked to you, even when I got rolled out initially, you were so just, you got this. You were so encouraging. Hey, you have this, stay focused, stay dialed in. You have supporters. I'm one of them. Has that always been in who you are? Because, what people don't know about you all the time is you didn't grow up in the best of circumstances,
No,
right?
I did not.
So have you always been this way, or is this something you've learned over time?
I think it's something that I learned over time, because I know that things are so hard. Everybody is facing one problem or the other. There's always going to be a challenge. And I don't want to be part of that challenge. All I want to be is a solution provider. And if I see someone going through a difficult session in life, I want to be the voice that tells them, look, it's okay, you got this. And so I just had to learn that growing up, that there's so much when you give a lot of positivity instead of just staying in the negative.
Do you have a story for us? You grew up in Nigeria, obviously, right?
Yes.
Do you have a story for us about just your upbringing, your youth, and maybe seeing dishes like this or meals? Or what was it like growing up back home in Nigeria and then transitioning over here into the United States? Like, what was that feeling like for you?
So I actually did not grow up with my parents. I lived with my parents till about 9 years old. So when I turned 9, I went to a different city to live with my auntie. And I stayed with her until I actually got married. And then after I got married, of course, most of you may not know, I got married through arranged marriage. I never met my husband. It was his family that went to my family and said, we love your daughter. We want to marry your daughter for our son. And so that was how we got married. And so after he came home, we got married, and he came back to the United States, started filing papers, and that was how I came here. I never thought I was going to be here. Never in my life.
With you, you're not afraid to share this stuff. And in our cultures today, especially being here in the United States, some people look at that with like a taboo on it. And when you and I were talking, you said something to me that really hit me hard. You said, look, like every relationship is hard. You have to learn to be that person's friend first, regardless of the relationship we're in.
Yes.
So you might have got there differently than I did, but with what you post online, what y'all talk about, the support you give one another, it's genuine and everybody feels it. Talk about building friendships. And I think this goes deeper than just those that you love. This is clients, this is your kids.
Yeah.
What does the word friendship mean to you, and how have you leveraged that to grow your business?
So for me, you can't give what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. So growing up, I've always wanted to have a very, very solid family. And, talking to my husband, that was one of the things that actually attracted him to me when we started talking was, the family value. My father was a polygamist. My father had 2 wives, my mom and the other wife. And I really didn't like that relationship between them. And I told God that I don't want that kind of relationship. So I wanted to have a solid relationship where everyone is going to work together as a team, and glory to God, that's what we have today. For me, relationship is key in whatever we do in life, either business or friends around. You have to build on relationship and focus on the good part of that person. Our fingers are not equal. Everybody's not going to be the same like you. So just focus on what is good in that person and build on it. And that's what we've done.
So I have a lot more to go down this path because it's so, your answers are, it's unreal. For those that are listening in, I don't know about you, but I'm obviously hearing a lot of this for the first time, and you could probably see my face just smiling in the background. I'm like, this is insane. I didn't know a lot of this story. But you know, I have a question for you. 18-year-old Nika, okay? I usually ask this question at the end, but with the way this is going, I want to ask this now because you're so good at reliving those moments and you're so aware of where you were mentally, even at 9 years old. And that to me is not easy. Those are the ages they say where, you know, that really shapes us, 9 to 13. So 18-year-old Nika, you see her walking down the street one day and you have the chance to pull up to her. She doesn't know who you are. She doesn't know you're the future version. But you walk up and you talk to her and she says, you know, do you have a piece of advice for me? But she doesn't know that you're the future version. She doesn't know that she's going to turn into this spectacular, wonderful human being that's constantly bringing joy to the world. What would you say to that human being? What piece of advice would you give her?
Just be who you are and have an open mindset and be ready to take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way.
You know, those words of advice for a lot of people are always hindsight, where it's like you go through life and then you look back and it's like, gosh, I just wasn't that patient person when I was younger. You know, and it's hard for me to just always be myself. With the way society has shaped us, social media, you found a way to incorporate your social media, who you are as a person, your culture, and actually being exactly what you just said, which is the advice you'd give your younger self, which is be yourself.
Yeah.
How hard was it for you at first to transition into that social media phase and really embrace it? Because I see you all over the place, always with the selfie sticks. You're always super excited. You're always capturing content. I walk in to get food today. You had content ready to go. What was that shift in your head? How did you know that's where you had to take this?
So I've always loved to take pictures. Even when I was growing up, I'm always camera ready. Always love to take pictures. And so it was actually my son that encouraged me to start posting on social media. And I would just post randomly until I started getting inquiries from people, getting comments from people that would tell me, number one was because of my size. I get messages from plus size women telling me, oh, I love your outfits. I love how you carry yourself. You are an inspiration. So that actually made me feel so good that I was able to add value to somebody. And then so when I started posting about my marriage, I would get younger women reach out to me and ask questions. And sometimes I'll even invite them to my home and we'll talk to them. We've been able to resolve some conflicts. I mean, I'm not a marriage counselor, but we've been able to resolve some conflicts, you know, in marriages. And then clients, oh my God, I would get clients from all over the world. Initially when I started, and most of my clients were in Nigeria, I would think, oh, I live in America. Why am I getting followers in Nigeria? But I started getting clients from Nigeria, getting to do the foreign national loans. So exciting to have families in Nigeria, in the UK, in Canada, building wealth in America. So that was it for me. I just took off and didn't look back since then.
So let me get this straight, okay? Hear me out on this, all right? I'm actually gonna look here for this one, okay? LOs, real estate agents. I need you to so far in this story already, 9 years old, off to auntie's house, no longer living with mom and dad, goes through that journey. She lived with her aunt until she got married and put in a situation where she's grown that relationship tremendously. Her husband fills out the paperwork. They come to America. Husband's doing real estate. She sees that he's struggling with real estate, and she sees that the loan officer he has isn't providing the best service and it's raising his blood pressure. She then says, you know what? I'm gonna go figure out how to be a loan officer. Goes online, starts reading books, starts reading online stuff, takes the 8-hour test, passes the test, helps her husband, builds her business, starts to grow her brand in Nigeria, says to herself, Well, what's happening in Nigeria? Like, how does that equate to business? Then goes, oh, I'm going to figure out how to do foreign national loans. And now she's in a position where she's helping people come from a different country and buying home in America. Think about that for a second. The next time you say to yourself, this is too hard. Because I don't know about y'all, but I have goosebumps right now just listening to this story. Because she's not supposed to be here. Yet, through sheer will, determination, and building a strong foundation, here she is today. Thank you. Sorry, I just had to share that out there. That's what you gave us already, and this short period of time is all that context. I want you to think about that for a second and how much lived is within inside of that. So now, broker owner, how did that come about? Did you always know you were going to be own it? Did you know that's the path you wanted? And then what has that turned into? Because I love the name, right? It's about the investments and helping people break those barriers of generational wealth and gap. But how did you know that was the path? Where did the confidence come from to say we're starting it ourselves now?
I remember when I wanted to join my husband, one Sunday afternoon, we came back from church and I told him that I wanted to quit my job. So my husband was like, there's no way, because who is going to pay for insurance? Who is going to pay this? Who is going to pay that? But right inside of me, I knew I was done at that job, that I wanted to quit and join him full time. So I went in, tendered my resignation letter at my job, and then we started the business. I joined him in the business. And today my husband would say he wished he had started sooner, because the moment I came on board, our business took off. And some families would say, oh, I cannot work with my husband, or I cannot work with my wife. There's separation of labor. Once we get to the office, everybody in his home space and I am in my own space. When I started helping my husband, and I would close loans, I would educate the clients to the best of my knowledge. Remember, I just started, so I don't really know that much. But I would educate the clients, and I would let them know the purpose, the reason why they are buying a home, and typically I put myself in the position of the borrower, okay? And then I would turn around when I get to work, put myself in the position of an underwriter, because I always want to submit a clean file. Based on my experience working some loans, and I know what the underwriters ask for. So I'll put the file together, write a note. If I have to explain certain things, I'll make sure I explain that and I submit a full file. Those days when we would submit like paper files, down the street from my office was Countrywide. I'll actually drive over to Countrywide to submit. Then I had, talking about branding, then I had a green folder. So they know, the underwriters tell me that once they see that green folder, they know it's me, because I will always submit my file, my documents in a green folder. And so fast forward to today, Nick Ojo is a brand name in the community because of the education that I provide, because I'm always there, because I'm always on social media, because I have the positive mentality, and I'm not going to take no for an answer. If the client cannot buy a house right now, doesn't mean the client cannot buy ever. It just means this is not the right time. And then we guide them through the process.
I love that. I actually have something to say. It's something I always say about, there's 4 types of clients, always, every time. So fill me in here just so they know, what are we doing right now?
So right now, here? I just mixed the tomato paste, and then the green pepper, the red pepper that I mixed earlier. And the reason for the tomato paste is just to add the color, the taste and the color to the rice. Now, different people make rice, the jollof rice, their own way, but this is my way, and it's the absolute best.
I can't wait. It smells unbelievable in here. I won't lie. I don't know what, something kicked in. Everything opened up. My sinuses are cleared. Everything is fantastic. So I cannot wait to try it on my end. Y'all have to wait and try this dish for yourself when the time comes.
So now I'm gonna put the rice.
Oh, so you're actually you're actually boiling everything inside of here.
Inside the
wow,
sauce.
okay,
Yes,
that's
I'm just
different.
gonna put that inside the sauce.
So she's boiling the rice in the sauce itself, y'all. It's not actually boiling in the water. Okay, that's different. That's unique.
Well,
Love
so
that.
I'm gonna add water, but I just need to
Got it.
add this just so, that's just my own unique way of making this. So I'm going to boil water.
So
Okay.
you said one of the main products for you right now is you built your business is the foreign national loan. So
Yes.
I've done about a dozen myself. So definitely not an expert, but I know that they're intricate and there are some things up front. So we work in real estate and I believe in something called Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong. Your attitude towards any situation or problem that pops up, how do you keep it even keel? How do you not, blow a gasket? How do you not lose your mind on an underwriter whenever a situation goes south? Like, what's the mindset you have going into a difficult conversation?
With the client or with the underwriter?
Both. Like something pops up in the file, whether it's for a national, where it's going to push out closing a couple of weeks. Like, how do you handle that from a stress?
So for my foreign national clients, I usually love to have a Zoom conversation with them every single time. I want to have that Zoom call every time, and I set out the expectations. And we all have to be on the same page. Not only my foreign national clients, even my regular clients, we will have that conversation and spell out everything that we expect from them and what could go wrong. So once we're all on the same page, we rarely have issues. For foreign national clients, if they are in the country, sometimes, they fly into the US and they see houses, they fall in love, they want to own properties here. So before they leave, I'll invite them to my office and I'll give them a series of examples and I'll get them prepared. I'll ask them questions. Are you going to be here when it's time to close? Because that's another problem. If they are not here to close, we have to choose someone to sign on their behalf, a power of attorney, or we send documents to Nigeria and they have to sign at the embassy. So I tell them, you can sign at the embassy if you want, but it's going to cost you about $900. Mm-hmm. And so they don't want that. So they would rather do that power of attorney. And so once you set the right expectation from the beginning, then you have less problems. For underwriters, like I said earlier, if I know that there's something that I need to explain to the underwriter, I usually put that in a file up front so the underwriter is aware. Because my thought process is this. The underwriter doesn't know the file. They don't know the client. You know the client. You know the file. So make the underwriter understand that file the moment they get that file. And so you have less problems.
So managing expectations, I think, is the piece a lot of loan officers and real estate agents miss. Where they're not setting the expectation, they're setting the client up for failure. We should have clear to close tomorrow. Yeah, we can schedule closing for Friday. How many times does that happen where then it blows up in your face? When the clients actually know what's going on,
yes.
It's such an easier process because, hey, we talked about this already. If this happens, we know what our game plan was because we've already had this conversation.
Yes.
So part of that journey for you has obviously been a lot of learning.
Yes.
Around the way.
Yes.
And learning how to communicate with them what they actually need. Why is communication so important to you, whether it's talking to your kids, your husband, your clients, your colleagues, your family? Why is communication such a big deal?
So one thing that I tell people is nobody is a mind reader. I don't know what's in your mind unless you tell me. So I just feel like if everyone is aware of what is in your mind or what you're about to do, then they're not going to expect too much from you. They know exactly what to expect from you. In our business, I feel communication is key. And nobody knows it all. So you always have to make plans to attend events, meet new people, be there to support one another. Look, I cannot stress the importance of AIME enough. Because of AIME, I've been able to meet some incredible brokers. We actually have a group of brokers where I think we're about 5 or 6. We have a little small group. We encourage each other, we push each other, we communicate with each other. We get on Zoom calls just to work on files together. That's what it is when you work with like-minded people. And again, let's go back to communication. When you're working with agents, I don't want agents calling my office asking me, what's the when are we going to get clear to close? I want to set the right expectation. Most agents, when they send you a contract, they want you to order appraisal right away. I don't order my appraisal right away. Now, I'm not telling you to do the same. You can do your loan however you want. But for me, I tell my clients, look, I don't want you to lose any money. I am going to get you a conditional loan approval. We're going to go through the conditions. Once you tell me everything is good, you can provide it to me, I order appraiser. Now, it's only about a week and a half to get appraisals done. We get it done, we clear conditions. In 9 days, we're clear to close. So communication is key. Setting the right expectation is key, especially at the beginning of your transaction.
And she talks about encouraging one another. I don't know if you heard that. And she's in a group with people that others might say, quote unquote, are competition. And here's what I've learned, doing this now for roughly 12 years and just going on my own journey, just with dealing with people and focusing on being a winner and trying to be as disciplined as possible. What I've come to find is those that tear you down, the truth is a lot of them lack discipline and commitment. That's just the reality of what I've noticed, because true winners, ones that are waking up every day with just a fire lit underneath them, you know what they don't do? They don't go at people that are working hard to be disciplined and committed. You know why? Because they realize how difficult it is to wake up every day and do the same thing every day to reach your success. Not for a week at a time, not for 10 days at a time, not for a month at a time. We're talking years. And it's really hard when you've never done that in your life to relate to somebody that lives and breathes it. And that's what I believe you're talking a lot about,
Yes.
is people that miss out on that stuff. Now, as we're waiting for that to boil, you and I were talking a lot about just things you would have done differently. You said something to me that your husband said, I wish you'd have done it just a little sooner. And what you did with that is you said, well, we can't do it any sooner than we did already because that time has passed.
Yeah.
But you talked to me about your kids and just some of the things that you did to set them up for success. So can you talk about the importance of what you did for your children and express to them and explain to the audience exactly what you did and why you believe this is what everybody should do?
Growing up, most of you know, I came from Nigeria. My husband came from a very, very poor family. He would jokingly say the poor people actually calls them poor, very, very poor. And coming to America was a dream come true for him. And the challenges he went through growing up, not having food to eat, not knowing when the next meal is going to come from, he doesn't want his children to go through that. So when we started the business and we started acquiring properties, we saw firsthand the benefit of building wealth through real estate. And so we wanted to start our kids earlier on that path. And because of that, we started building credit for them at age 17. So one of the goals we had as husband and wife was to ensure our kids become homeowner at 21. And that's what we did. And by the grace of God, we've been able to do that and share that with people in our community. And today, I'm so excited to see families helping their kids become homeowners at 21, at 24. So we do not want our children to go the same path. We want them to start where we stopped and to continue to build lasting legacies for our children.
And now, if you don't mind sharing, how many homes do your kids own before 30 years old?
So my first, right now he has about 5. The second has 4. He's 25, he has 4. And our baby is, she just turned 21, so we're working. So once she graduates and gets that offer letter, she's gonna buy a home property.
Are you that disciplined? Honestly, I have goosebumps listening to how she's speaking about this, because it's from her experiences that she understands the importance of what she's teaching her children. And now she has 3 wonderful kids that are building a massive portfolio before they're 30 years old. And Nika, you said something about your oldest, and you said, when he bought his first house, what you saw was his friends
Yes.
start to try to act more like what he was doing.
Yes.
And you said that opened the door. What did his friends start doing watching him buy a home?
So when he bought his home, I was very excited. I was truly excited to share. So I went online and I shared. Some people, I mean, that's just the way it is. Some people will not support what you're doing. And a lot of his friends actually reached out and bought their own home. And this is what I tell them. You don't have to buy from me. You do not have to buy from me, but just buy. Just make sure you're building wealth for yourself. And I was so happy to see more of his friends coming up, buying properties. And I think that there's one of them right now that actually has 2 properties. He just recently got married. He has 2 properties right now. And they keep buying and keep buying and keep buying. And our oldest is now a real estate agent in the Dallas area doing so well. And now more of his friends are coming into the real estate space. So it feels good to be a pace setter, just to say. I just feel good about it. So whatever it is that you're doing, just know that your children are watching. We are their first teachers. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Make sure you're showing them the right way to live. Make sure you're showing true examples to your children, because you cannot build a better community if you don't build a better home. So let's start from the home first.
That was so good. That was so good. So we're waiting on this to boil now,
Yes.
right? We have that to the side. You added some boiling water to it already. I saw you heat it up over there. Super efficient. And then you just cut up the plantains into 4s. So now we're making the infamous plantain. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What do you do here? What's next?
So I'm going to fry the plantain. Now, some people will add salt to taste, but personally, we don't eat a lot of salt, so you can add salt to taste if you want. Some will add garlic powder, whatever you want. But for me, I'll just leave it plain. And so I'm going to use, and then we like to use olive oil to cook. So you can use vegetable oil, whatever oil you want, you can just use that. So I'm going to pour that into the pan and let it heat up a little bit before I fry. So we're just going to leave this to heat up, and then we can start talking.
So I screw up plantain every time I make it. Am I going to learn a secret on how to actually do it right
Yes.
today? Okay.
Yes, it's so easy. I think it's one of the easiest recipe, one of the easiest things to make.
Well,
very easy.
I drop the ball on plantain a lot of times, so hopefully I can learn an easy way to do it now. So Nika, if your energy is infectious, and I think for anybody that talks to you or meets you, you feel it right away. And I know we've talked about it already as we walked in. It's there. It's there. And I feel like you embrace that version of you. You love the fact that you're an energy giver.
Yes.
And there's some people that are energy takers. And I believe when you build great relationships, it's a good balance where sometimes I need your help giving energy, right? And sometimes I know you need help getting energy.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the balance of it. And I think building those relationships has a lot to do with not taking things personal.
Yeah.
Because in every relationship, we know things pop up. You said something about your husband and the way y'all talk. How have you built such a foundation to where you and your husband can give feedback to each other and you don't take it personal? And then my follow-up is, how do you embed that into your kids and even your clients? How do you not take feedback personal?
So for you to get better, you always have to learn from other people, because people see you different than you see yourself. And so the closest person to me is my husband. And he is my greatest cheerleader, my greatest critique as well. So I'm always eager to hear his opinion. Now, I'm just gonna be honest. Initially when we started, it wasn't like that. I really didn't like when he comes back and tells me, you didn't do this right. I'll say no. But then I realized that the only way to make progress in our marriage is to listen to one another. And so we started listening to one another. He will give me feedback, even him as well. If he's not doing right, I will let him know. And so the same way our kids, the way we brought them up, they are so free to tell us what we are not doing right. And same thing, they are free to tell each other what they are not doing right. As a matter of fact, as a family, we have a weekly meeting. Every Sunday at 9 o'clock, you cannot call me and get me because I am on that call with my family. Wherever we are, all over the world, we join that meeting at 9 o'clock Central Time every night. We talk about everything. We laugh at each other, we make fun of each other, we encourage each other, and all of that. Once a week we meet, but every day we have a group chat. So if you're having a bad day, you got to drop it in the chat, and then we pump you up. No, that's not the end of the world. Let's go. You got this. If you got promotion at work or you got something great going on, yes, we are always the first to cheer you on. So we encourage our kids to drop whatever it is that they're going through, put it in the chat. And so we want to know. And so coming to the business, I have people that will call me and tell me, look, I'm tired. I don't think I can do this. And I tell them, hey, okay, come on, let's take a break. Let's breathe in. Let's talk about this again. Or do you want to talk about this tomorrow? And most times, 9 out of 10, I have been able to make them see, not convince, make them see reason why they should proceed with that transaction.
Make them see, not convince. I got a little emotional as you're talking about the kids because it's what I said earlier. Like to be that disciplined to where you're getting your kids on a call and to teach them. These are kids. I know the culture they went through. They went through a culture of social media. Mm-hmm. They went through a culture of online, and yet you still maintain that. So we're dropping in the plantains.
Yes.
That smells so good. I get emotional about stuff like that because I know the difficulty that goes into getting there. It's like you hear it for the first time, you're like, wow, that's a good idea. All good ideas are just that, ideas. It's the actual execution and implementation. And here's what I will tell you. You know, her husband and herself are at the top of the hierarchy inside of their family. And I think that's fair for most families, right? Where mother and father, they're the ones that are really making sure things are dialed in. That means that the alignment between her and her husband had to be so dialed in as a unit that they said we will not make exceptions to this rule. Every Sunday, we're getting on a call no matter where we're at in the world. And then she says things like, her clients, we don't convince. It's about seeing the potential. It's about seeing the risk and analyzing and assessing. I don't know about y'all, but that is not easy to do. That requires a lot of effort, mental fortitude, and a lot of conversations that a lot of us, myself included, might not want to have every single day. Where did this will come from? Is this something that you all both had since you were kids, where it's like, hey, when our mind is set, when we're focused, we know we can conquer the world? Or did your confidence grow as you built your relationship?
I think for me, I think it's from my husband. My husband is super focused. My husband is super, he came to this country with just $200 in his pocket. And now he's built an amazing legacy. He's building, because we're not there yet, he's building an amazing legacy for his children. So he's someone that is super focused. If he wants to achieve something, he wants to achieve it. So I had to tag along, and now I'm the one pushing him. I am the one pushing him. Let's do this. Let's go. So whenever he comes up with an idea and says, okay, this is what I'm thinking about, I'm like, okay, just what do we need to do? And he says, okay, we need to do this, we do that. Okay, let's go. I remember when we bought this house, it was in a very bad shape. And we brought the kids here, and the kids saw it, and the kids were like, okay, let's do it. So we all agreed, and we bought the house. And now we're sitting on a ton of equity, just because we all work together as a unit. So there's always some sort of there's always a lot of blessing when you work together as a team. There's nothing to gain when you are working your separate ways as husband and wife. You have to build a strong family, again, to build a strong community, and to build a strong nation.
You feel the words and the impact and how meaningful they are to you. And I think for me, I can always tell when someone really thinks about this. And it's obvious that you have had a lot of conversations regarding this. And the word that keeps coming to my head with you is confidence. And I am always curious about people, that aha moment. I watch you on social media. I watch the way you portray yourself. I watch the way you carry yourself. I watch the way you talk about your husband, your kids, your colleagues, your family. Whatever the case might be, you always go in with such a level of confidence. What is the importance of social media, and why is it important to you to make sure that you're so dialed into it and making sure that you are posting consistently and showcasing to the world that, hey, there's potential, there's opportunity, we can show you and help you put yourself in this position? Why is it so important for you to post so consistently?
I cannot stress the importance of showing up consistently on social media. I cannot. I would say right now, maybe 70% of my business comes from social media. Most people don't know you. If you are afraid of going online to showcase yourself, you're losing out a whole lot and you're leaving a lot of money on the table. If you don't want to do it, it's okay. Some of us will do it and we'll keep taking in the business. But I encourage you today, get out of your comfort zone and go online and showcase yourself. There are so many tools out there that can help you get on social media. You don't even have to show your face most of the time. Just go out there and learn things that's going to improve your business. Social media has been a blessing for me. And you know, there are lots of negativities out there. Just scroll past those negative. You'll see them. Just scroll past. It's okay to see what's going on. Scroll past and just go and get your business done and keep going, keep moving. I had a client, a realtor, that actually reached out to me over the weekend, referring a client that is buying a $1.5 million home. If not for Facebook, I wouldn't have met that realtor, okay? I had somebody else that reached out to me this morning from Nigeria because somebody that I helped to close your foreign national loan referred them to me. This past week, I had another person, well, actually, I'm closing a foreign national loan on the 27th. That same client had actually referred me to somebody else, all from social media. So if you ever doubt it, if social media works, please talk to me and I'll show you my results.
So I hope y'all caught it, because I did it, and I put the biggest smile on my face, okay? She said, well, if you don't want to do it, don't worry, I'll do it if you don't want to write the loan. That's the confidence I'm talking about, is right there. Because she understands the value of consistency. It's not one post, it's not 10 posts. It's a habit that you're building to make it just part of you being a loan officer or a real estate agent, whatever the case might be. I love that you said that. Are you a competitive person internally? Like, is there some of that spirit where you just, you love figuring things out? When I say competition, I don't mean like we want to take so-and-so down. I mean competition where it's against you, right?
Yes.
Let's be better versions of us. Do you feel that every morning when you wake up?
Every morning when I wake up, all I want to do is to make a difference. All I want to do is to make a difference in somebody's life, either with my posts or helping a family, helping a single mother who thought that she couldn't buy a house, or helping a family who has been denied by an inexperienced loan officer. All I want to do is to make a change, to make a difference every single day. And you cannot develop this confidence if you don't practice every day. So you have to be out there every single day. Every day I'm at work, 8:30. I'm at my office. During the time when business was really, really busy, most times I get to work at 6 a.m. I get to work at 6 a.m. So the other day when Matt Ishbia was talking about him getting to work at 4, I got home, I told my husband, I said, if a billionaire is getting to work at 4, what is my business? What am I doing not getting to work at 6? So I get to work and I work till maybe 8 o'clock, Monday through Saturday. Sunday, I rest. But Monday through Saturday, I'm working. If you call me, I'll be there ready to help you become a homeowner.
So these plantains look incredible. Rami, I don't know if you got a shot of this already, but these are, I was timing it in my head. I watched it. Oh no, don't worry. I already mapped it out in my head. I was watching it.
It's real easy. So now I'm going to make we're going to make the gizzard sauce.
Okay, I'm excited. So a few minutes have passed. Plantains are out. We got the rice almost done here. Next, you said it's the gizzard sauce.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna make the gizzard sauce.
Okay, that's coming up next. So what do we do here?
So I'm just gonna pour in the olive oil. So we use a lot of oil, but just, not a lot. So I'll do the pour in the oil, and I'm gonna add some onions just to add flavor. And I'm gonna add the red sauce. It's a little bit spicy.
I love spice.
All right. And then just mix up everything. I have the gizzard already diced. And so just mix everything together and it becomes a delicious side dish.
I can't wait. So in my household, Middle Eastern household, cooking was just part of what we did. It is part of the culture. Olive oil is a really big deal for us, especially extra virgin olive oil. And something you're doing that is just so funny because you can tell you're so comfortable is it's so easy for you to cook and talk.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just part of who you are. You're just kind of going through, knocking it all out. As you're going through the gizzard sauce here, you were talking earlier just about your work and your life, and you're starting the days, and sometimes you'll even start earlier depending how busy you are. There's people out there that talk about work-life balance. I don't believe in work-life balance. I believe in a life balance, and there's times in my life where I happen to be working a lot, and I believe there's times where my focus will shift.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? How have you incorporated work into your life? Because you still travel, you still take care of your family, you're still doing holidays, you're still finding time to set up signage out front, you're finding the time to do all this. Like, how did that just become part of your life?
Growing up, a lot of things, people give titles to so many things that doesn't really make much sense to me. I hear about work-life balance a lot, but what is that? Every family goes through certain period in time. I cannot compare where I am to where you are. Everybody is different. So what I always encourage people to do is focus on yourself and see what happens for your family. I remember a time when my kids were really, really young. We don't even attend any events. No events. We are home with them, helping them with homework. If they have basketball games and whatever they have, we have to go. And so what we did, because we work together in the same office, it's either I go to certain events, my husband is working, so we just divide our roles. And that worked perfectly for us. So right now, our kids are grown, we're empty nesters, we're able to shift our focus and just do what works well for us. So for me, I think when you have the ability to work, save, prepare for the future, because the time is coming when you will have all the time in the world to balance whatever it is that you need to balance. But you need to put in the work first when you have the energy and the ability to do so.
I have so much to say about this topic because we're very aligned on this specific topic, and I think a lot of people are afraid to have that conversation. And the reason I think that, Nika, is they want to feel like they need a break. And I've talked to so many people where it's like, I just need a break. And for me, there's a fine line of, okay, I understand being overworked, I understand being exhausted, but then I also see the other side where I'm like, well, were you really as effective as you possibly could have been with the day and with what you had in front of you? Mm-hmm. How do you build efficiencies? How do you keep analyzing your business? How do you make yourself more efficient? How can you be in all these places at once? Because I watch you do it. Where do you start to build efficiencies like that?
So I look at a lot of people in our community a lot, especially women. I look at them and I see what they are doing. And I'm so excited when I see people winning. And so when I see that somebody is winning, I want to win. So whatever I need to do to get there or to pass them, because I tell people that in this business, overtaking is allowed. So it doesn't matter if somebody is closing 15 loans today, you can close 20, you can close more, but you got to put in the work. You can't just wake up one day, you've not closed 5 loans in a month, but now you want to close 15. You got to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, it's not going to come. I watch other people, I see what they do, and another thing that I do is I attend networking events. as much as I could. AIME event, if I'm not at any AIME event, okay, so now we're gonna put the gizzard into the sauce, okay? So if I'm not at any AIME event, it's maybe because something happened that I can't attend the event. Attend events, mortgage mornings, not just because Jonathon is here. Jonathon delivers a lot of value. My husband is not in the mortgage industry. He's a loan officer, but he doesn't practice. He's always right beside me every morning, listening to everything that you talk about. Every Wednesday, he's there. So if you're not taking advantage of that, please do so. People are dropping valuable lessons that will change your family's life, that will change your career. You can't just lay down on the couch and say, oh, I'm not closing loans. You're not going to close any loans sitting on the couch. You got to get up and go out there and get these businesses. So once you have a business, then you got to figure out how to maneuver your day, how to put things in place. Now, please don't get me wrong. I am not perfect, but at least for right now, I am where I am today by God's grace and the amount of work that I've been able to put into my business.
This looks, my mom's gonna laugh at me because she knows I have a problem now. People are learning my weird stuff. My mouth started watering as she's putting the gizzard in, and hopefully no one caught it because I had to take a step back. I was slightly embarrassed by it, so Mom,
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, because that's what happened to me. It smells unbelievable in here. Myself, Rami, our videographer behind the scenes, Sean Hatala, who you all know and love, we're super excited to try this here shortly. So if you see me drift off, just know I'm trying to stay focused, okay? So thank you for that. You are wonderful. It smells so good in here. I mean, I know we're getting close to wrapping this up. And there's just a few things on my mind about you personally, like morally, culturally. What does culture mean to you? And why is it so important to help people see culture? And when I say culture, it could be your background, it could be your morals. It's not just about where you grew up. It's deeper to me. Culture is who you are as a person and what you embody. What does that word mean to you? Why is it so important to embrace culture? Why do you feel so strongly about it?
You want people to have a certain sense or a certain feeling when they hear your name. I think that's what culture means to me. For example, if somebody says Nike Ojo, now people know, oh, she's a mortgage lady, okay? Oh, she'll take care of you. Just go, she will take care of you. That's the culture in my business. I want people to know that when they come to me, I will take care of them. Now, that could be different for different people, but for me, we have that can-do attitude. You can do it. You just have to follow the right path. So culture is I think, is extremely important. Just knowing what to do, what you want people to expect from your business, and that's what I think it is.
Yeah. Thank you. Stress. I think stress changes over time, like what we think is stressful. Just, being 12 years old, my stress was different than what my stress is today.
Right.
How has your stress changed, and then how have you learned to deal with stress? And I use deal, I don't use the word struggle, because I feel like as humans we learn to deal with things. But how has that journey been for you dealing with stress, and how has it changed over the years?
I mean, sometimes it could get pretty tense, especially when you have loans falling apart. So typically I love to stay at my office and work. So whenever I'm stressed out, so what I'll do is I'll just step out of the office. I could go out to eat lunch. Most times I eat at the office. So I could just call my husband, let's go out to eat. Or I could go for a massage, or take a break, or just tell maybe the next day I may not get to work early, which rarely, rarely happens. Because I want to show example to my team members. I don't want to get to the office at 11 o'clock when I'm asking them to get to work at 9. So whatever it is, when I get home, I take a bubble bath, I suck it up, and I get going.
I have so much more to talk about that because I feel like that's so hard for people to just get into that mindset. So we're getting close to the end here. It's just an unbelievable aroma in here for anybody. You can't smell it, obviously, but you got to give this dish a shot. I cannot wait to try it. 2 more questions for you. All right, number 1, if somebody's new, right, real estate, mortgages, I don't think it really matters, entrepreneurial spirit. Like you have the spirit in you, right, and you feel it. What are 2 or 3 areas that somebody that wanted to get into real estate or mortgages, where can they start if they don't have any background, if they want to be a loan officer or an agent? Where do you think they should start?
I know most people go into businesses to make money. I know that. But don't focus on the money. If you focus too much on the money, you're setting up for not being successful. I don't want to use the other word. So focus on, number 1, getting better, getting to know people. See, most people, especially those that are close to you, will not come to you for business. You have to prove yourself. So when you prove yourself, people will come to you. Get into learning, get into networking events. Every opportunity you get to attend classes, to attend training, do it. I would fly out to attend masterminds. I would try out, I pay for coaching. I've been in the business for 23 years. I still pay for coaching. I still fly out to attend events. So attend events. All of those expenses, you get to write them off anyway, but focus on investing in yourself. Once you invest in yourself and get connected to the right set of people, I guarantee you that you're going to be successful.
So just to be clear here, saying things like, but it's too hard, Nika, is not a good answer. Is that fair?
No.
Okay.
Life is hard.
All right.
Life is hard anyway. Everything is hard. So you choose your hard. Being broke is hard. So choose your hard. Would you put in the time to make, look at me. I was not born here. I mean, you can hear my accent. I was not born here. I was not raised here. I did not go to school in America. I came into America at the age of 25. I was 25 when I came here. And I've been here, I'll be 30 years in this country. And look at what God has done through real estate. So if I can do it, you can as well.
It's so powerful and it's so deep. And, you know, with you, the reason I enjoy it so much too is like, anybody listening, it's like, what are you going to say to you? Like, there's no excuses. No one, you know, you can't, what are you going to tell me? You know, like, what are you going to say? It's, were the odds stacked against us? Yes, they were.
Yeah.
You know, am I supposed to be here? No. But you said, yeah, we're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
And to me, I just love it because no one can say anything to that journey, right? No one can ever say, well, you started here. And the thing about you is I've never heard you say it once throughout our entire conversation. You don't care where you started. All you said to me was, no.
Where am I going?
Where am I going and how do I get my kids to start sooner?
Yeah.
That's what you said to me.
That's it.
That was it. That was your focus.
Yeah.
You said, yeah, as long as I figure that out, we're good to go.
Yep.
My last question to you, something that I always love to ask. Most impactful loan that you've done for a client, and if you remember the story, if you can share with us why it was such a big deal and what it meant for them.
So I had this file. The client had actually wanted to do a cash out. And we started the process, and for, you know, Texas cash outs are always tricky. At the end of the day, when I closed that transaction for this family, I was only able to make $100 as a broker. I only made $100 on that loan. I was very happy about it, got them what they wanted, and we closed the deal. 5 months later, this same family approached me. They wanted to buy a $550,000 home. And guess what happened? My husband represented them on the real estate, so 3% of 550. I represented them on the loan side. And today, the wife had actually referred close to 5 of her friends to me. So the reason I share that is this. Remember earlier I said don't focus on the money. In our business, sometimes you make some loans that you're not going to make any money. It is okay. Just know that you are investing in somebody's life, and if they don't even remember you, God is going to remember you. and he's going to pay you 1,000,000 times return. So that was a very defining moment for me. Up until today, they still celebrate me. We still hang out together as family. And so that was one loan that I'll never forget.
Thank you for sharing that and your journey with just God and the love that you have. And you and I have talked about that quite a bit. So it's really, really cool to feel that. And it's crazy because, I read a lot in the Facebook group, and how many LOs, how many have you seen like, no, I don't budge on my commission? You ever seen that before?
Yeah.
And I'm like you, it's don't get me wrong, I understand certain circumstances, but the amount of times where I've had to give up,
Yeah.
the amount of times it's come back
Yeah.
tenfold, I can't even express it to people. I'm like, you have no idea how many relationships I've saved. And it's an easy decision to make. Like,
Yes.
people are like, you have to think a lot about it. I don't.
Yeah.
If it's the right thing to do, I know it makes sense. It'll fix whatever it is that might need to be fixed.
Yes.
Fix it.
Yes.
And move on. So we're getting ready to enjoy over here. We will be back with y'all shortly. We're going to plate this and get ready to eat. And I cannot wait to tell you how good it is. Look at that. Yeah. Thank you.
Push it to the side a little bit.
Let me see. Where do I look? Where do I look? Wait. Oh my God. That looks great. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh wow. You look so amazing.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you. We are getting ready to plate our food. And if you can't tell, I have changed. This is my booba that I am now wearing thanks to Nika. And I'm going to get one of these. Very comfortable. Love the way it looks. Learned about the hat, tilting it to the side.
Yes.
Thank you for and bringing us in. Thank you for the culture. Thank you for being so open-minded. Thank you for bringing us into your home. Thank you for being so kind. Thank you for being so wonderful.
Thank you.
And now, without further ado, we get to try this wonderful meal.
All right, so our jollof rice is ready. So we're just gonna plate this. You can get as many as you want. So this is the first time he's eating this. I don't wanna give him too much. And so, a plantain. And so I made some stew, the chicken stew. So if you want,
Oh yeah.
so we can add,
You're not going to scare me. Go for it. Don't worry.
no, okay. So, this is oxtail,
Perfect.
okay. And there's the fork.
All right, moment of truth. Get the gizzard. I already know. You're so annoying. That's unbelievable. That spice too, it's perfect.
Yeah,
It's
it's
mild.
spicy.
Is that the
The curry, this is all I used, curry, thyme, and the Knorr cube. I didn't, you can add salt if you want.
No, it
That
doesn't need salt.
Yeah.
No, this is fantastic. I'm gonna actually try and cook this at home myself
Yeah.
and send you a video
Hey,
to critique
let's
me
go.
on there. Nika, thank you for everything. Team, community, thank you. Last year, we talked about community and we had a huge emphasis on the word unity. And this year, we're doing unify. And it's all about unifying the community, and this is one of the areas to bring people together. I don't know about y'all, but food is an easy place to start by getting to know somebody else. Nika, thank you for allowing us into your home.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
being here.
everything.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day, team. I can't wait to enjoy. Take care.